Coming up on episode 5 of the Unscrewed Mind, Rusty and I discuss a principle at the core of the law of attraction, the law of vibration. We touch on the Hawkins scale, which is very cool stuff. And just a small tip for you, careful when you try to correct someone else's vibration. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right, we're recording. Episode 5 already, Rusty? How incredible does that sound?
It's feeling good. That's for sure.
I think so. It's been a really cool journey. Not only recording them with you, but also like the process of editing them and getting them out on the internet. It's just a neat experience altogether.
Yeah, I really like I don't like listening to myself, but I definitely like listening to you and then turning the volume down whenever I come on. So
we're kind of going through what I think is a really good introduction for the law of attraction. And the subject today is kind of at the core of the law of attraction, and it's the law of vibration. And so we've kind of outlined what we want to talk about, and we've got the points that we want to hit. But I always like to throw it to you because you introduced me to all of this, and so I'm curious, where do you want to start with the law of vibration?
Well, I think that something that was big for me is just understanding that everything in our world or our reality is energy. So everything is moving. The table, the desk, the computer, everything when you look at it at a microscopic level is going to be moving, and nothing stands still. And so, just understanding that kind of makes you understand yourself a little bit better and how you affect the things that are in your world, because your energy plays a role in the energy of different things. So, and then thinking about that further and then this is something that Bob Proctor says a lot, is nothing is created or destroyed. Because if everything is energy, it's just changing the form that it's in at that moment.
Yep, like different states of energy. And so you and I talked about kind of the example of water, right? If you take an ice cube out of the freezer and you put it in a bowl, eventually it turns into water. Still the same amount of water, right? Just in a different states. And then if you take that same ice cube and you put it in a pot and you boil it, it turns into vapor, right? Steam. And so it's in the air all around you. But that water, like the energy that was that water, hasn't gone anywhere. It just looks different, feels different, is different.
Yeah. We were talking about how the different things that you think about or say about things has an effect on everything around you or a specific thing or item. And I think that we should, I think this would be a good part to bring up the Hawkins scale and talk about that. I don't know if anyone out there is already aware of this scale or if it's something that you have looked into already, but basically the Hawkins scale is going to be a listing of different feelings or states of feelings that you could have about different things. Matt, did you have something specific that you were going to say on this portion?
Yep. And so, if you've ever taken any time to look into it, and I didn't know anything about it until you mentioned this to me like a week ago, is that every emotion you feel puts you somewhere on this Hawkins scale. And when you think about how an emotion is a vibration, and how you feel attracts more of that feeling to you. You really need to be aware of your thoughts and the type of vibration that you're sending out into the universe. And so if you have some time, Google the Hawkins scale and you can look at a picture of it. But just to kind of give you an idea of where you would fall on this, it's like a scale from 0 to 1,000, right? And so in the middle of the scale is the point of 250, which is basically neutrality. And so that is the spot where, on average, we as human beings, as spirits, kind of reside. And so you go through your entire life at this kind of single point of neutrality. And so you're not bringing anything good or bad to you. You're just kind of existing in this space. And so all the way at the bottom of the Hawkins scale, you're going to find feelings of shame, guilt, apathy, fear. They're all right around like the 100 and below. And as you step up that, as you get to the other side of neutrality, you've got acceptance, you've got reason and love around 500, joy and peace at 600. And then from 700 up, you've got feelings of enlightenment or consciousness. And so keeping in mind that how you feel attracts more of that feeling. Obviously, we want to be on the higher end of this scale. And to do that, you have to identify thoughts that are in the bottom end and quickly flip them and turn them around into feelings of a higher vibration. You determine not only your energy, but the energy of your environment. And so making sure that you're emitting these positive feelings not only elevates you, but also elevates the things that are around you.
Yeah, and so great description of it, Matt. And so putting this into play on a daily basis this is a very simple way to know if you're moving towards a specific manifestation that you have in mind. So if you're feeling, fearful, if you're feeling guilty, or if you're feeling the negative emotions or what we call a negative emotion, if you're feeling that inside, you're not going to be moving towards what you want. And so throughout the day, print off one of these Hawkins scale, keep it on the background of your phone, do whatever to keep awareness of it, and then think. We've already spoke about kind of paying attention to your thoughts on a daily basis. So now let's take it a step further and identify where that is on this scale. So if you're thinking about joy and love and reason, acceptance, feeling good about something, then you're going to know that that's a positive thing for you. And it sounds crazy kind of coming out of my mouth because it's like, that's so obvious. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I always do. But you're going to find that a lot of the thoughts that you have fall on the bottom part of that scale and they're not serving you.
Mm-hmm,
so you have to move those thoughts that are not serving you out of your way completely and just start focusing on the opposite of that thought that's not serving you. It's as simple as, I'm scared to do this podcast today versus I'm excited to do this podcast today. If I have either one of those thoughts and start giving power to it, it's going to start a chain reaction because one thought that's negative can lead to another thought that's negative, and it just keeps spiraling. And that's how so many people get stuck in a certain state of being or feeling for years at a time. People feel defeated. People feel like they can't do anything because they keep chaining off of that negative thought, just one after another. So I think that this is great for anyone that is, looking into the law of attraction, looking into ways to improve themselves in general, and just start looking at where your thoughts fall on this scale and understand that the vibration that you're emitting is directly correlated with your thoughts. And you want to make sure that your vibration and your thoughts are aligned as much as you possibly can. And nobody's perfect. Everyone slips up.
Yeah. I think it's important to understand that, and just know that it's, everything is practice on your way to perfection. Like everyone has positive and negative thoughts. All you're trying to do is tip the scale so that your paradigm or your conscious thought is more positive than negative. So you're moving in a positive direction as opposed to sort of going backwards. And so, like, how do you, when you talk about the law of vibration, Rusty, like, how does this factor into like the overall sort of law of attraction? Like knowing that what you want is vibrating out there in the universe somewhere, and knowing that you need to make your vibration sort of match that. Like, how do you use that law of attraction to start bringing towards you the things that you want?
Every day, I know what my goals are. They're always in the back of my mind. And there's so many things that can come up between you and your goals if you let those things come up. So constantly, and it gets, to be honest with you, it gets annoying not only to yourself, but to people that you love become annoyed by your monitoring of the positive and negative thoughts. I'm sure, Matt's not necessarily one to call somebody out for having a negative thought as fast as maybe me, but it's definitely something that when you're monitoring it on yourself, you'll catch yourself trying to monitor it on people outside of you, which is not good, because they're probably not going to listen to you. And so it doesn't work as good as you might hope, but it definitely works when you're doing it for yourself. But just don't take it outside of you. That would be a tip that I probably need to listen to myself.
Right. You have been, I think I've mentioned this on the podcast, and I've told you this before. It's like, it's really hard to have a conversation with you where like, I'm kind of down in the dumps, and I'm not feeling good, and I'm not overly positive. And you quickly call me out on it. And there's no feeling sorry for me. There's no no pity party. Like, it's just immediately, hey man, you cannot talk like that. It's not serving you. It's not helping you move towards the perfect version of you. And you just got to quit it, and you got to stop it right now. And so, one thing that that sort of helps me, and I was reading Asking It Is Given this morning. One thing that you need to keep in mind is that your attention on any specific thing is going to deliver more of that thing. You mentioned goals earlier. If you have a specific goal in mind or a specific thing that you want to achieve, concentrating all of your thoughts and all of your energy on that particular goal, and thoughts of it already happening and thoughts of it going really well are going to attract more of that into your vision. Like you mentioned goals earlier. If you have a specific goal in mind or a specific thing that you want to achieve, you have to constantly think positively and constantly envision positive results. And that's going to help move you forward towards what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. And, this is only one aspect of raising your vibration, which is monitoring your thoughts and your feeling is actually what you're really trying to change. It's not your thoughts, because your thoughts are not necessarily you. That's just your paradigm over the course of years. You're just, the thought is popping into your head. You don't even know why the thought is popping in your head. And you're choosing to give power to it, which is then causing the feeling, and then the feeling stays in that state. But looking around the world, not looking around the internet, those are two different things. So going outside and being in nature, and just seeing how everything is really perfect from the standpoint of how the trees grow, how the grass is green, a certain type. Everything has a flow to it. How a stream flows. I mean, something to me that has been crazy when you think about how perfect everything is animals, dogs, and cats, just the way that they interact with us. And they constantly are reading our energy too. And the way that you are, or the energy that you're giving off, you'll notice a change in the way that they're looking at you or they're acting. Like they may get out of your way if you're angry or, just not happy go lucky at that moment. And then they will come to you and want to be pet if, if you're in a good vibration. So there's so many indicators outside of you to show you the positive side of things too. And we tend to radiate towards things that don't serve us a lot, whether it's watching the news, reading content online. And, everybody still wants to do things to take their mind off of the day or whatever, but just pay attention to what those things are, because you can be wrapped up in changing the way that you're feeling, and you're not even trying to. It's just something is, it's like it's something else that's getting a hold of you. So you just have to really, really watch it.
Yep, for sure. And another thing on the Hawkins scale that I didn't mention earlier is that, you're part of kind of your environment, or you determine your environment. And so how you feel can either add energy to your environment and those around you, or it can take things away. And so, you can think of yourself as like a solar panel, right? You're either taking this positive energy and redistributing it out into the neighborhood and adding juice to the grid, or you're just something that's out there taking energy away and pulling from it into kind of this negative energy vacuum. And so you really have to, again, just be aware of what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and make sure that it's more positive than negative to see some really good results. And so,
and something we haven't brought up though that I think is extremely important on vibration is back to meditation. And the reason why you're meditating is because you're clearing your mind of thoughts. So if you feel like that your day is going wrong, or if you feel like you're having a bad day, or if you continuously have negative thoughts, meditation can really help out by just clearing your mind of thoughts, because you're just trying to hold your mind in a blank space, which is, like I said, it's a muscle. It's like building a muscle. So when you first start doing it, you may only be able to do it for a couple seconds, but it's going to continue to lengthen the time period that you can do it. That's a very good way to just block out and get back onto a higher vibration. And then you'll notice that when you're in higher vibration, that the people around you are going to start reacting to that vibration. And it's really great. I mean, the key takeaways for everybody out there today is everything is energy.
Mm-hmm.
The vibration that you put off is the reality that you receive.
Mm-hmm.
And, print off the Hawkins scale, take a look at it, and start noticing, are those thoughts that you're having on a daily basis, where do they fall on the scale? And start making a change towards the higher part of that scale today.
Yep. And I think that once you notice that you're not where you want to be on that scale, kind of pull yourself back from whatever you're doing currently, take a break, right? Go to a quiet place or a happy place, reset your mind either through meditation, positive affirmation, breathing exercises, but find a way to separate yourself from whatever's causing you any distress, reset, put yourself in a positive mind frame, and then go back about your business and just kind of watch how much better things start going for you from there. Thanks for listening to Unscrewed Mind. Don't forget to rate and review this episode, and be sure to subscribe so you're notified when the next episode drops. We're also on social media, so follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Unscrewed Mind, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of our projects. And until next time, stay grateful.